Ken, you there? So what are we doing? We're just doing the open. Okay. Yeah. Does this level sound right? Check, check, check.
Hello, hello. Dave, you good?
I'm good, yeah. Okay.
Do we have to, Ken? How are you? Good? Was there an issue with the open then? Ah, modern technology, right?
All right, so once we come up, I'm not throwing a break at all, right? Okay. All right, so we're about to do the open, Johnny.
Oh, we are?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Tonight, the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday, presents ACC Men's Soccer. Live from Ludwig Field in College Park, Maryland, it's the number 1 ranked Maryland Terrapins against the upset-minded Virginia Tech Hokies. Indeed, you're looking at the scene in College Park as Maryland looks to remain as a team that is yet to lose this season against a Virginia Tech team that battled hard against Boston College in its most recent game, is able to get a 1-1 draw despite being down to 10 men. I'm Dave Johnson along with John Harkes. So glad you're with us tonight on the ACC Digital Network. And John, we talk about the home team, the Maryland Terrapins. This is a team that the senior class is yet to make it to a College Cup. Going back to 1995, every senior class has always at least made one College Cup. There's some serious pressure on this team.
Well, I wonder if it's like a separation anxiety that's been there, Dave. And since 2008, when Sasha Sarofsky took his team and they won the College Cup. So there's a lot to be thinking about there, but not a lot of pressure because I think this team can handle it. They seem to have the right characters in place.
Oh, by the way, they, again, are the number 1 ranked team in the country. You mentioned characters. John Sturzer. This is an attack-minded team with several players that can provide the great options for Maryland, but we must talk about John Sturzer. 14 goals last year.
14 goals last year, Dave. He's been a driving force in the midfield and a great leader. He makes great decisions on the ball. Sasha Sarofsky's put so much trust in him, and this is a kid from Oakton, Virginia, very close by here, and he's actually just around the corner from my house, but been following him for years, Dave. He's a very good player, technically good under pressure. Look to see him really getting on the ball early on in this game.
And again, they play out of a 4-4-2. Now, because they're attack-minded, this man, Kyle Renfro, the goalkeeper for Virginia Tech, could be busy, but he should be up to the task. Led the ACC in saves last year.
That's right, and with BC, I mean, they got the 1-1 draw, and that was with 10 men, and he was certainly busy in that match. He was up to the task, Dave, and you know what? That's built a lot of confidence in this Hokies defense and also the midfield going forward.
All right, interesting point here. They play out of a 4-3-3. Loretano, Clemens, and Strong, the 3 forwards. They are going to be tactically involved tonight because they've got to keep Maryland's fullbacks from getting involved in the offense.
Absolutely, Dave, and especially with Strong and Loretano. I mean, he's going to have to push it. They're thinking that St. Cyr will be on the right side coming forward, and Ambrose as well. They do such a good job, Maryland Terrapins, of getting their team into the attack, and they move as a group. And that's the thing in terms of, we talked to the head coach, Mike, and he was saying that, look, I got to press them, but I also have to break our own pressure. We've got to keep the ball when we get it, and that's very important.
Yeah, Mike Brisendine's done a terrific job with Virginia Tech, and this is a Virginia Tech team last year that defeated North Carolina, so they are capable of pulling the upset. That's what they're looking to do tonight in College Park. Loretano, Clemens, and Strong, the three forwards, they are going to be tactically involved tonight because they've got to keep Maryland's fullbacks from getting involved in the offense.
Absolutely, Dave, and especially with Strong and Loretano. I mean, he's going to have to push it. They're thinking that St. Cyr will be on the right side.
Tonight, the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday, presents ACC Men's Soccer. Live from Ludwig Field in College Park, Maryland, it's the number one ranked Maryland Terrapins against the upset-minded Virginia Tech Hokies. Indeed, you're looking at the scene in College Park as Maryland looks to remain as a team that is yet to lose this season against a Virginia Tech team that battled hard against Boston College in its most recent game, is able to get a 1-1 draw despite being down to 10 men. I'm Dave Johnson along with John Harkes. So glad you're with us tonight on the ACC Digital Network. And John, we talk about the home team, the Maryland Terrapins. This is a team that the senior class is yet to make it to a College Cup. Going back to 1995, every senior class has always at least made one College Cup. There's some serious pressure on this team.
Well, I wonder if it's like a separation anxiety that's been there, Dave. And since 2008, when Sasha Sarofsky took his team and they won the College Cup. So there's a lot to be thinking about there, but not a lot of pressure because I think this team can handle it. They seem to have the right characters in place.
Oh, by the way, they again are the number one ranked team in the country. You mentioned characters. John Sturzer. This is an attack-minded team with several players that can provide the great options for Maryland, but we must talk about John Sturzer. 14 goals last year.
14 goals last year, Dave. He's been a driving force in the midfield and a great leader. He makes great decisions on the ball. Sasha Sarofsky's put so much trust in him, and this is a kid from Oakton, Virginia, very close by here, and he's actually just around the corner from my house, but been following him for years, Dave. He's a very good player, technically good under pressure. Look to see him really getting on the ball early on in this game.
And again, they play out of a 4-4-2. Now, because they're attack-minded, this man, Kyle Renfro, the goalkeeper for Virginia Tech, could be busy, but he should be up to the task. Led the ACC in saves last year.
That's right, and with BC, I mean, they got the 1-1 draw, and that was with 10 men, and he was certainly busy in that match. He was up to the task, Dave, and you know what? That's built a lot of confidence in this Hokies defense and also the midfield going forward.
All right, interesting point here. They play out of a 4-3-3. Loretano, Clemens, and Strong, the three forwards. They are going to be tactically involved tonight because they've got to keep Maryland's fullbacks from getting involved in the offense.
Absolutely, Dave, and especially with Strong and Loretano. I mean, he's going to have to push it. They're thinking that St. Cyr will be on the right side coming forward, and Ambrose as well. They do such a good job, Maryland Terrapins, of getting their team into the attack, and they move as a group. And that's the thing in terms of, we talked to the head coach Mike, and he was saying that, look, I got to press them, but I also have to break our own pressure. We've got to keep the ball when we get it, and that's very important.
Yeah, Mike Brisendine's done a terrific job with Virginia Tech, and this is a Virginia Tech team last year that defeated North Carolina, so they are capable of pulling the upset. That's what they're looking to do tonight in College Park. Well, and we're underway in College Park. Indeed, Maryland in the dark jerseys will kick this thing off and try to prevent the upset. Virginia Tech very much looking for that upset. And one thing about this Virginia Tech team, they showed it last week, tying down to 10 men. They're full of grit and determination. Aticha, the right flank, played off the ball. Now already Virginia Tech now. Loretano working in tight spaces. Back to the left back, Austin Stewart, as Virginia Tech now faces that high Maryland pressure. And this is part of what you're going to see tonight. Schuma on the ball. We'll play it back to Jordan Cyrus. He's the late to start at right back for Widner St. Cyr. The typical starting right back, Taylor Kemp, one of the captains, out with injury. But John, we're looking at Maryland soccer. They'll come with pressure and attacking waves.
Certainly, and Dave, not just that, the confidence on the ball, under pressure. They do a very good job, and as you just said, there we go. There's a fullback coming forward.
Cyrus getting it into the box, and Kyle Renfro, already 32 saves on the season. No trouble there, but right away, I think just in really the opening minute or so of the game, we saw the challenge that Virginia Tech, right away, Austin Stewart, the left back, was under immediate pressure. He's going to need help.
That's right, and we see Shiloh, number 23 from Maryland. He's going to put that pressure up top, Dave. He's done a very good job of not only just being a freshman that stepped right into the situation, but a guy that's really made an impact early on.
Woodbury clears it out of the back. One of the center backs for the Maryland Terrapins. Very balanced Maryland team in terms of class. They have 3 freshmen, 2 seniors, 3 juniors, and 3 sophomores starting. Only 1 senior, David Fiorello, who scored last week against Boston College for Virginia Tech. And that was quite a goal, barely 35 yards.
Excellent goal, and this is a player that loves to take on that pressure. He's been a great leader for this squad, and you know, he's going to look to see if he's a key player tonight. It's a number 7 on the left side of midfield. Makes great decisions on the ball. One thing about Virginia Tech, Dave, is that they've had a very tough season so far in terms of the challenges that they've away to North Carolina, the number 1 team. They lost 2-0 there, but they've been up against it. So in terms of building that resilience, I think Virginia Tech has got that in their game already.
Sonny James. Sonny James gets it to Schuma. Now Patrick Mullins played off the ball. But that Maryland attack with quick precision. Clemens can't get onto it, and now from the back, Woodbury steps up. This one is denied. Stewart trying to prevent, and I think it was a handball by Sonny Jane of Maryland. So a free kick coming up for Virginia Tech. Again, they are in the white.
Early on in this game, Dave, one of the things that stands out to me, Ludden Woodbury, he receives the ball as a center back, but right away in his mind, he just steps forward 30, 40 yards, he's up the pitch. Other players, they understand that system. That's the culture that Sasha Sarowski has built within this team. You know, interchanging pieces. They're all part of one thing, and that's the team itself. They work together.
Loretano unable to get onto it for Virginia Tech. Shiloh Schuma touching the ball. We'll play it back. Maryland with 6 players with at least 2 goals. So I think that's an example we're talking about. Mikey Ambrose, usually the right back, moving over to the left back with the absence of Taylor Kemp.
Taylor Kemp, and you mentioned St. Cyr, Dave, and I talked to Sasha Sarowski, head coach, and he said that he had to attend a funeral, so family situation, was flying back in here, and it was going to be a game time situation. So St. Cyr usually that starting right back.
Dakota Edwards will play it wide to Ambrose. Sonny Jane, a turn on the ball. And Maryland looks to ignite. Good dummy there. Stetzer now. Aticha as they try to get it. The back heel, Mullins. Service in the box. Well denied by Virginia Tech. Good defensive positioning. Cyrus, who is the right back tonight, gets forward.
It's a great delivery in by Sonny Jane. I thought he was going to pull the trigger there, Dave. He and Aticha have been able to switch from right to left constantly throughout. difficult to mark. It runs off the ball. Very good.
Good denial by the defensive midfielder, Jed Prater. Now this is Woodbury, a defender getting forward. And we're going to have a corner kick here for the Maryland Terrapins. 5 minutes on. 5 minutes in, I should say. Virginia Tech dealing with plenty of that Maryland pressure that we expected.
You see already, Laurentano, Clemens, and Strong all back behind the ball here, trying to defend. Numbers back for Virginia Tech on this very dangerous set piece from the Maryland Terrapins.
Mikey Ambrose to take the set piece. This is going back post. Woodbury, the target. Virginia Tech unable to get the clear. Another corner kick coming for the Maryland Terrapins, but they're putting on a show.
Oh, that's a bit of skill that you see from Sonny Jane, the maturation of him over the years, just understanding where everybody is on the field. But one-on-one, Dave, he can break down the game, no problem. Great skill.
The junior is electric. Mullins going up for the setter. Renfro will be challenged in traffic, and the goalkeeper for Virginia Tech able to come up with it. The Hokies getting a welcome pause. It's a team 3-2-1 on the season, but 0-1-1 in the ACC. The loss to North Carolina, the tie with Boston College. You see David Clemens in the orange shoes. We'll try to put some of that pressure on the forwards. They're going to be busy tonight. That's what we talked about at the open of the broadcast. They've got to keep Maryland pinned in.
Well, they do, Dave, but they have to make sure that that communication is there. I mean, certainly playing at Ludwig Field's an intimidating place, but they've been through the wars already in the beginning part of this season, so they've got to look at each other, communicate well. Don't do the individual pressure up front. They have to go as a team if they're going to press the back line of the Terrapins.
Hunter Jessius clears it. We should point out Jessius starting as Devontae DuBose is out with a red card from the Boston College game, usually in the center of the defense.
Sorry, Dave. Mike Brizendine saying that certainly a player that they miss. Big physical presence. He's done a great job, and you know, matching up in the back today, they certainly can use him.
Sonny Jane trying to put on this show once again. The teacher support, but we're going to foul as an over-exuberant Sonny Jane. Whistle trying to win the ball back. A free kick coming up for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I just see Prater kind of stick in there. He reads the game well, and he gets fouled from behind. Virginia Tech trying to get their feet sorted out.
Mike Brizendine, the head coach for Virginia Tech, taking that pause to talk to Daniel Laurentano. Get some instructions in the movement on the field. Clemens goes up for it. Ben Strong crashing the gate, but Woodbury there. Strong will get whistled for the foul.
Well, you can hear the support here, Dave. It's always a tremendous atmosphere at College Park, Maryland, and the fan base, unreal. The crew. I mean, did you see that sign that they had painted for Sasha Swarovski in his 20th year?
20th year for Sasha Swarovski. That looks like that. I think that you should get college credit for that. That kind of effort.
Yeah, it's been tremendous. Really, his coaching regime and the culture that he's built within this university, and the fan base, they appreciate it a lot. But they are certainly, they create a great atmosphere here. Very intimidating for the goalkeeper as well.
Talking with Pat McSorley, the Virginia Tech assistant coach, he said they wanted to make sure they prepared their younger players for this environment they would have to deal with tonight at Maryland. Okay, it's a teacher trying to get through instead. Good control there on the part of Maryland is Dan Metzger. He's in that defensive midfield role tonight. Helge Lankvang has been injured, so they've had to make some adjustments, the Terrapins. Sonny Jane trying to get on that flank, bumped, a free kick, an excellent set-piece opportunity coming up here for Maryland.
Yeah, you see Ranahan just a little bit late into the challenge, Dave. Talk about a big player, a big physical presence, talking to the referee right now. Sonny Jane just has that ability, Dave, that skill, that quickness to avoid those tackles. Set up the set piece right here.
Dan Metzger will take it, or at least he's standing over the ball. To the left of the ball. Metzger will send it in. Ranahan is able to head it away. The defender not out of danger yet for Virginia Tech, and indeed, Virginia Tech must defend another corner kick.
You're just saying Drew Ranahan getting his head on that one, Dave, on the set piece. He also got his head on the first corner kick of Maryland.
Metzger, this will sail back post. It'll be a goal kick for Kyle Renfro, the keeper for the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Yeah, Dan Metzger's done a good job, Dave, of actually, working himself into the squad. Staten Island, New York player. Very neat and tidy, holds the balance there.
Start of the season, Helge Leitvang was in that position, but he suffered an injury. He's healthy again. We could see him tonight. Metzger was on the flank for the Maryland Terrapins, but now holding that important defensive midfield role. Let's go look at Kyle Renfro. 100 saves last year, 32 saves so far in the season. Had 9 saves against Boston College.
He led the ACC last year, did he not?
Yes, he did. Talk to the coaching staff of Virginia Tech. They call him a game saver. Austin Stewart, the left back, looping it upfield. Woodbury has the answer. Teacher gets onto it. Cyrus, the right back, sending it forward.
Good decision by Jordan Cyrus. It feels that pressure a little bit. Just quick decision to get it forward.
The teacher out of the DC United Academy. We'll get a whistle and a foul. Free kick coming up here for Maryland. 44 players, speaking of DC United, 44 players have gone from Maryland to Major League Soccer. They've been quite a supplier to our nation's top professional league. Sturzer able to win the ball. Did 14 goals last year. Dakota Edwards. Woodbury. There's that pressure. So Sturzer, the through ball coming through. Schuma gets it off. The save by Renfro. The effort there and a goal. Mullins has scored. And Maryland's on top.
Well, it all starts with John Sturzer in the midfield, Dave. The driving forward picks the ball up. He just commits players. He runs straight at him, tries to link up with Sonny Janes. Gets the first shot off. It was a good save by Renfro, but Patrick Mullins in a really good position to just finish off that rebound. And didn't he take it well, Dave? Really good technique to finish that off. Here it is again. Here's the first strike.
That's Schumar who takes the strike.
Yeah, Schumar hits it, and there's Patrick Mullins, unmarked in the box, completely unmarked in the back.
The junior leads the team in assists, but that was a great finish. So Mullins gets a goal, and Virginia Tech now has to find a way to get some possession and ease that constant wave of pressure that just keeps coming from the University of Maryland. Metzger. Again, we are witnessing tonight on the ACC Digital Network the #1 team in the land, Maryland, and they're showing it. But this is a Virginia Tech team that has been defined so far by grit and determination this season. So much too early to count them out. Schuma to Mullins. Potential for a good strike blocked. Now relief is Fiorello tried to put it through midfield, but ran out of options. And we'll get a foul and a free kick coming up for Maryland.
And Fiorello just took his eye off the ball there, Dave. Took a little bit too big of a touch. Bit of a 50-50 challenge there.
Athletic training staff will have to come on. For Virginia Tech right now, it's that high pressure of Maryland. Right away, when a Virginia Tech player gets the ball, immediately close down. What's the answer? How do you sort through that kind of situation?
Well, there's two things, Dave. There's either the one that you park the bus, like Jose Marino likes to do, and sit back. Some people, he says anyway. A lot of teams do that. Chelsea won the Champions League by doing that against Bayern Munich as well. But the other way is to actually go and squeeze the ball and don't give the good players that are great techniques and also the vision in the game to give them time to look up and pick you off. You've got to squeeze them, make it pressure situation. If you do that as a team, they're going to be better. If they don't, they're going to be in between, and that's going to lead to a lot of trouble, especially against this number 1 side, Maryland.
Mikayesa Aticha taking the knock and coming toward the sideline. Should tell you our referee tonight, Dan Fitzgerald, our assistants, Danny Thornberry and Dan Forrest. I guess Dan was a requirement to be a part of this game, although we have Dean Fairweather as the 4th official. Sturzer trying to put a back heel into the box. Loretano, and right away there's that pressure, but that time it was a foul by Metzger.
I thought Metzger won the ball cleanly there.
But again, he's the defensive midfielder. Look how high up on the field he's pressing to win the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell already that Virginia Tech, because of the goal early against them, Dave, they're a little bit apprehensive to kind of push forward and take up that space. So I think Maryland is really pushing the game to them at this point. See from Renfro, distribution here, see if they can capitalize on the longer ball.
Austin Stewart has lurched forward, but Jordan Cyrus sorts it out.
It's a good ball by Renfro, actually, from the keeper.
Shuma plays it for Aticha, who's back on the field. Loretano, the back heel. All right, better stuff potential here is Clemens. That's the way you do. You switch the point of attack. That'll open up some options. Hunter Burns, the right back, looking for Loretano. The flag is up. But that is a way to relieve the pressure, that quick switch of a point of the attack.
Yeah, switching the point of attack is good. I just think that it's a bit shame, though, really. Loretano could have had a bit more discipline and kept his position there and not drifted offside. Great idea, though. The switch of the play coming there from Burns.
This is the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday, and we're presenting to you ACC Men's Soccer. I'm Dave Johnson, along with John Harkes. So proud to be able to bring this to you as you enjoy this wherever you may be. This is the new frontier. You can watch anywhere. Be mobile. It's a mobile world. And we've got arguably the best soccer conference in the country on display as Shiloh Schumut gets on the ball for the Maryland Terrapins. We know we have the number 1 team in the land as Sturzer for the number 1 ranked Maryland Terrapins. Sonny Jane sending it in, and Schumut was there. Boy, it's lightning quick they come at you.
Great combination play from Maryland. You just see the understanding with each other, especially in the final third. Early service there from Sonny Jane. It's a good ball in. That's going to be a threat throughout the game, Dave. Certainly they have to keep an eye on him.
Shiloh Schumut with 4 goals on the season. And again, it was his shot that set up Patrick Mullins' goal that is the difference in this game right now. It's 1-0 here at Ludwig Field, College Park. Terrific weather night for this match. As a throw-in coming up for Virginia Tech. And they're in the white jerseys, the orange trim. Loretano, that first touch failed him. Aticha in tight quarters. Gets help from Metzger. Now Cyrus. And Maryland has possession. Mikey Ambrose. Good pause. And then he took off. This is what we're seeing from the defenders. Look how high up he gets. Now Sturzer. Schuma. Maryland stays on the front foot. Renfro, though, will come up with a save as Mikey Ambrose. There's your defender taking a shot from outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, those are the players. They have that freedom, to go forward, Dave, and to link up. The understanding that, making sure at least that Edwards and Woodbury are holding down the 4 as the 2 center backs in the back.
Now, again, Mike Brizendine talked about preventing Maryland's backs like Ambrose from getting involved in the offense. And you saw how capable they are of getting involved even in the final third.
I think from Virginia Tech's point of view, Dave, they're just trying to, compromise Maryland's confidence out of the back. If they can force them into some errors and maybe pick up some pieces and they get the goal, get back into this game. It's difficult to do that, especially the force through the midfield of University of Maryland. They do such a good job of controlling the game.
You can hear the chanting, perhaps, the Maryland supporters. They really add so much to the atmosphere. This was Sasha Sorovsky's dream when he came here 20 years ago. In 20 seasons, 17 NCAA appearances. But this is what he wanted, a Friday night under the lights in a soccer stadium with a big crowd. Clemens puts pressure on for Virginia Tech, but Dakota Edwards now, the center back, eludes that pressure. Sturzer. Mullins. Schuma trying to get the through ball. Ranahan, that was well read by Ranahan. Drew Ranahan has been busy. You have Ranahan and Jesse as your center backs. That's Ranahan, a sophomore, Jesse as a freshman. Shilo Schuma getting the ball from Atisha. Schuma drives it. Renfro prevented any kind of rebound.
Yeah, very good hands from Renfro. It's always difficult when the ball is dipping down there. Bounces just before him. And then difficult right here for Virginia Tech. Looking to stretch the game a little bit. Unfortunately, when you only got Clemens up there, Dave, as your lone target, the number 11, makes it very difficult. Maryland got plenty of players back behind the ball. Just looking for that extra pass from Virginia Tech to try to settle things down. That'll break the pressure if they can keep possession. 2-3 passes in a row.
You mentioned that we talked about them playing a 4-3-3. Really morphs into like a 4-5-1. They've got the two holding midfielders in Prater and Fiorello, the captain.
Well, it does. And what Maryland does a very good job of playing in that diamond shape, they stretch the game out. And Metzer really holds that position down solidly behind Sturzer. And when they stretch the game wide, they're able to, open up the game for Virginia Tech. Then those gaps are there, those seams. So Tech have got to be organized and disciplined, Dave, at this point.
Maryland wanted to foul on Hunter Jessius, none coming, but Maryland getting the ball back. Getting the clock counting down in college soccer. 23 minutes ago in this first half. Schuma. Mullins. Nifty touch, and the flag is up. Otherwise, the guy who scored 14 goals last year and has 4 this season might have had his 5th.
It's amazing Patrick Mullins does such a good job of just, finding the space. And those are the players you got to keep an eye on for sure. But there's very intelligent players on the field for Maryland. And when they move off the ball, the understanding, the way they click with each other is great.
Again, Mullins scored the first goal, the only goal in this match, but he has 6 assists on the season. Maryland has outscored opponents 21-5. We'll get a substitution here as Virginia Tech will go to its bench. So Loretano, again, a heavy work rate. Devin Mason will come in. Also, Tsubasa Endo will replace Aticha. Endo is a great story. He's from Japan, went to Sasha Sorovsky's camp a couple years ago, now on the Maryland team. This not cleared by Maryland. This could be trouble. Virginia Tech trying to create something. That's Clemens, the big body in there. And then a chance for Virginia Tech from distance as Fiorello, who had the goal last week from 35 yards.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Excellent confidence from Fiorello.
Maryland just struggled to clear this. See Clemens in there with the orange shoes, trying to storm the gate.
Well, that's Virginia Tech's game, Dave. I mean, they're going to kind of, look to squeeze things, put it in the box, pick up the second pieces, and look to follow up. Fiorello, though, great technique on that strike. Very good. He wasn't far off. Wasn't far away.
No, well, he had the dramatic goal last week against Boston College, and that equalized it, albeit later in the 83rd minute, 1-1. This is Endo. There's Sasha Sorosky, very high on the, very technical, very tactical. Tells us he's someone we're going to hear from.
You can see already just Ambrose, how he breaks pressure by dribbling out of that space. And those are the type of defenders coaches love.
Sonny Jane plays it to Mullins. You might say Maryland now getting that possession back, but again, this is that grit and determination we told you about Virginia Tech. Had that Fiorello strike tied this game, it really would have represented the kind of heart this team has. Woodbury steps up. Cyrus, the right back, getting forward, going at Austin Stewart. Schuma, Shilo Schuma, slaloming through. Schuma, Renfro is able to collect in traffic. Schuma, though, able to slalom through that traffic, but Renfro shows why. He led the ACC in saves last year.
Yeah, you see Schuma, the freshman there from Episcopal High School, does a very good job of just wheeling and dealing, slicing up the defense. Good technique.
Again, looking for answers is Ben Strong getting forward for Virginia Tech. And as the Hokies want a corner kick or a goal kick, it will be a goal kick coming up for the Maryland Terrapins. Keith Cardona is the junior goalkeeper for the Terrapins. Patrick Mullen's goal by Maryland is the difference in this match. Endo, the touch on the ball. Sabasa Endo. Not enough on that pass to Sonny James. It gives Virginia Tech an opening. Clemens. Clemens is drifted out wide. 3-on-1, not good odds for him. Metzger digs in. Now Strong trying to win it. But Maryland, just too many numbers, not the support there for Virginia Tech.
Well, I think they've been trained that way, Dave. I mean, as soon as the ball goes to a particular area on the field, they know they can close it down. They can double up, work well together.
Schuma. Gets it wide to Sonny Jane. Jane can put on the show. And that sailed across the six with Patrick Mullins right there.
Well, at this point, too, though, I'm wondering why Endo hasn't gambled enough to get forward on that back post. I mean, he's a freshman. We talked about him, the Japanese player. He's coming in on the right side of midfield. And we got to see Sonny Jane on the ball, Dave. You know he's going to go and take somebody on one-on-one. So you got to get in the box, take your chances.
Yeah, you know Sonny Jane is going to get in the box.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
It is incumbent upon the player making the run to get in position. There's a good look at Tsubasa Endo. Went to a few soccer camps in the United States and decided to come to Maryland. Had opportunities with J-League clubs in Japan, but wants an education. And an example of commitment, obviously, he had to pass the SATs and worked hard to do just that. Cristiano Francois will come in and replace Sonny Jane. Give Jane a chance to cool his jets after a tremendous work rate. Sturzer. Francois just in the game. Mullins. Francois, the fresh legs. Stewart, the left back, does a good job handling the pressure, but not done. Virginia Tech defending. Endo in a collision. And Metzger will win it. Schuma. And Cristiano Francois fell down. Could have been more to that attack otherwise. 16 minutes to go. Dave Johnson, John Harkes on just a beautiful night. Ludwig Field. This Maryland team ranked number 1 in the nation. The goal is to get back to the College Cup for the first time since 2008. For Virginia Tech, the goal is to do what they've done before and play that shocker role. They did it to North Carolina last year. Nifty little touch by Schuma. Mason just in the game, had some possession. Clemens tried the return pass, but tough to link up with that pressure by Maryland. Throw-in coming up for the Terrapins. And they've had most of the play, most of the possession, but just that one goal, and that's significant. I mean, this is a Virginia Tech team that has always shown it's up for the battle. Cyrus. Clemens winning the ball. Clemens now. Ran out of space and options.
He did very well initially, just to keep the ball. Unfortunately, that final pass, Dave, just eluding Virginia Tech at the moment.
Mason on the ball, losing possession. Be a throw-in coming up for Maryland. Mikey Ambrose. Virginia Tech doing a good job of checking to make sure Ambrose does not advance any further. We've seen that scenario play out tonight where these outside backs, Cyrus and Ambrose, have gotten awfully involved in the Maryland offense, the attack. Sturzer for Endo.
Did well to win that ball back, Sturzer. Good pressure right away.
Patrick Mullins. He can go at players 1v1. Francois sails into that wonderful Maryland support. Though we should point out the Hokie Nation is well represented. We saw a lot of Virginia Tech fans here as well. It's this Washington, D.C. area where we are, a huge alumni population of Virginia Tech. Although it'd be hard to spot them in that crowd.
Yeah, you can't see them in the crew. I don't know if the crew would actually let them in, Dave.
I don't know. I think you'd have to have that maroon under your.
Yeah, you need to go in there neutral, maybe.
Yeah,
then
wear a blue shirt.
It's been a good game, though, Dave. Like you said before, the ACC is very strong in representation. Again, tonight, it's a good advertisement for the game. They're showing, the right way to play the game. And Maryland do such a good job. Edwards and Woodbury, they're so calm on the ball as center backs. They really are. They have great patience, technique to get out of trouble when they need to. They're not the type of team that just, hoofs it up the field without any options. They look to play through trouble. That's good.
Looks like we're going to get another substitution as Virginia Tech will go to the bench. In fact, as they start to look for some offensive options, Connor Pompilio will come in, had a goal recently against St. Bonaventure in their 4-0 win over St. Bonaventure. But we'll have to wait for that substitution. Again, the defending is tiring, and these Virginia Tech players have to be feeling it right now.
And Virginia Tech, like we said, they've been through some battles already, Dave. They're still looking for their first win in the ACC. One draw, one loss. 3-2-1 overall.
Cameron Owens. He's the attacking midfielder, if you will. But no slight on him. It's just been hard for Virginia Tech to play through to him because it's been hard to keep any kind of possession. Example of that, Sturzer winning the ball, but Stewart makes up for his mistake, but no option there. Sabasa Endo. Metzger playing in that defensive midfield role. Jed Prater, one of the captains, trying to close him down. Endo. And Renfro in good position. No trouble. Calmly makes the save.
Well, I think the experience against Boston College, a friend of mine, Eddie Kelly, coaching there from Jersey, certainly put the pressure on Renfro, and he did very well. So I think it helped him, Dave, to go through that in order to be prepared tonight.
Hunter Burns, right back, sends it up over the top. They'll run out of real estate. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Maryland. We'll get that substitution. In fact, two players coming in. Jake Pace will come in for Maryland to replace Schuma. And Pompilio will come in for Virginia Tech to replace Cameron Owens. Now, Jake Pace is another attacking option for Maryland. Big guy in the box that can cause a lot of problems. Often when you see Pace come in, and I think we're seeing that now, Patrick Mullins will drift out more to the left side. Mikey Ambrose has gotten forward on the left flank. Well closed down there by Hunter Burns, the right back for Virginia Tech. Into the side netting, no trouble there from Patrick Mullins. So it'll be goal kick coming up for Virginia Tech. Final 10 minutes of this first half. Important for Virginia Tech to get to that break with just that one goal.
It's been very difficult so far, Dave, for Virginia Tech, just to get the ball and get any rhythm established within this game. And certainly they knew what they were up against, coming against the #1 team in the country, Maryland Terrapins. But at some point you look to see that grinding out those results, the resilience which brought them to the 1-1 tie against Boston College with a man down.
And that Devontae DeVos, because of red card, is not here tonight for Virginia Tech. Mike Brizendine is the head coach. And by the way, congratulations. He's had a sleepless week. A baby girl, he and his wife welcoming right. Sloan into the world. And
congratulations to him from McLean, Virginia. Originally.
Dakota Edwards bumps Pompilio off the ball. And Virginia Tech does not get the call that they wanted from Dan Fitzgerald, our referee. A goal kick for Keith Cardona. Virginia Tech really the best chance, probably Fiorella's effort from distance. And again, he provided the surprise element in the 1-1 tie with Boston College. Clemens, nice turn. Got away from him though, and Woodbury. Clemens stays with him. It'll be a free kick. Again, the attack-minded center back suddenly. Tsubasa Endo. Calm and cool on the ball, Metzger. Chased by Pompilio.
Well, Metzger doing a very good job there of shielding the ball, protecting it under pressure.
Woodbury. Francois trying to get onto it. Stewart spanking it away. Metzger steps up. Sturzer. Endo now, Woodbury allows him to regroup. Francois has come on as a substitute. So active buzzing around.
Patrick Mullins screaming for that ball,
Yeah.
Davies. Definitely wants that out wide. Loads of space there. I think Francois just kind of forced the issue coming inside. Look at Ambrose coming forward.
Francois, nice turn to get that space. Endo will not get there.
Well, Francois seems to bring that dynamic part of the game, Dave. The quickness, the speed, and the power, but just that final ball,
Yeah.
he just needs to maybe just take a deep breath a little bit, see if he can connect that final ball, that pass. Mullins taking a break here, Dave, coming off for a little bit.
So Patrick Mullins going out, and Alex Shinsky will come in. Now Shinsky, a player, Sasha Soroska, compared to Robbie Rogers, one of the Fab 44, if you will, that have gone on from Maryland to Major League Soccer and great things. So good player to be compared to.
Well, certainly when you think of Robbie Rogers, you think of pace, you know, silky with the ball, and it's a lot to live up to, but we'll see what's he like.
And this Maryland team, this senior class, trying to get to the College Cup for the first time. Sturzer, the pressure is on him in his senior year. Shinsky, touch on the ball, Metzger. Sabasa Endo, marked by Stewart. Endo, say we get the cross off. Denied at the back by Hunter Jesse as the center back. There's Sasha Sorovsky. He always teaching, always teaching.
Endo doing a very good job isolating Stewart one-on-one. Making him commit, finding the space down the line.
So Mikey Ambrose has come over to take this corner kick. Dangerous ball. Renfro takes a punch. Cyrus gets forward. Dakota Edwards will leave it. The cross made. Clemens pushes it forward. Dakota Edwards.
Great recovery by Edwards.
He used his strength to win that back.
Well, you see he and Woodbury both come forward. Two center backs on most of the set pieces on corners. They are the targets tonight for the Maryland Terrapins, and quick recovery from him to get back.
And Virginia Tech struggling to string those passes together. Instead, Maryland possession again. Shinsky, the touch by Sturzer. Fiorello shadows him. Hunter Burns at the back, clears it. Francois dancing through that midfield. He got by Jed Prater. Now Jake Pace, who's a lot to deal with. We'll put it back to Cyrus. He'll put it in the mixer. The wave continues of attack. Metzger to Francois. There's the ball. This is Pace. It'll be a corner kick for Maryland.
Well, twice there, separate segments. I mean, it was a combination play, 12 passes in a row from Maryland. Keeping that possession, Dave, that's been very good for them throughout. And then the second play there, just finding pace. He's moving off the ball very well. When you see the linking up, the player's movement is being very good for Maryland. You hear Jordan Cyrus coming late here as well into the play from, oh, he was there.
Shinsky in traffic. Maryland now, Endo. Nice stop start, change of direction, turn.
Yeah, he ran into a brick wall, Virginia Tech wall there.
That sea of white. Ambrose now. Ambrose with the left foot. Oh! Ambrose into the net. Maryland has its second.
You see Ambrose, the power that he has, Dave, on that favored left foot. And the left back, he just cuts across the grain. Finds the space, and this ball splits, so Definitely the keeper screen for sure, Dave. It's very difficult for Kyle Renfro to see that until the very last second. A lot of traffic in front of him from Virginia Tech.
Mikey Ambrose with his first goal of the season.
An important one as well, just before the half.
Well, I was just thinking that for Virginia Tech, it would have to be considered somewhat of a victory to get to the break. Get to the break with just a 1-goal deficit. But instead now, Virginia Tech, the challenge even greater.
Well, on set pieces, this is where Virginia Tech can get themselves back into the game, Dave. Plenty of numbers forward.
Jed Prater take this, and it forces Cardona to punch it away. You're exactly right. Virginia Tech, they just need a little sugar right now. Get that goal, get him some confidence. Fiorello to handle the throw-in. Clemens getting in position, in traffic. Cardona, the goalkeeper for Maryland, is able to come up with it.
Well, Keith Cardona, it's really the first time we mentioned him the whole half, Dave. In the last 3 minutes, he's gotten a couple of opportunities here. He does very well.
Again, Maryland in the dark jerseys, Virginia Tech in the white. And this is Shinsky, and there's that pace that we told you about. Ranahan comes over to defend. Ricochets off Ranahan. Renfro read it well, the goalkeeper for Virginia Tech. Now Clemens. Good switch of the attack as now Mason trying to get onto it. Instead, Cyrus. Diagonal ball, that's a good idea there by Cyrus, the right back, looking for Francois.
It was a great ball by Cyrus. And you see how he comes forward, Dave. It looks like he's not putting any effort in. I mean, it just glides forward with the ball, Jordan Cyrus, number 14.
Jake Pace, the back heel, didn't work. Clemens. Final 10 seconds of this first half here at Ludwig Field, and the Maryland Terrapins, well, in control, it must be said. They got that important second goal, so now Virginia Tech really has to find a way to get some possession to get a chance. They need to relieve the pressure of Maryland.
Well, certainly it was a dominating performance by Maryland, Dave, and you have to look to not only the organization of the team, but how calm they are and confident on the ball. And not only are they just, keeping the ball in possession, they're actually threatening all the time, and they move together as a team. Very good performance from Maryland, and Virginia Tech certainly going to have to make some adjustments here second half, Dave, and they have shown that they can be a team in the second half that can come out strong and still at least dig in and chase. They have a good spirit about this side, Virginia Tech.
Well, we told you 6 players with 2 or more goals on the season for the Maryland Terrapins. They even got the first goal tonight from Mikey Ambrose. We welcome in Sasha Sorowski. And Sasha, your estimation of the first half, you were able to get that important second goal.
Yeah, I think that was an important goal because, they're a hard-working team. They're very competitive, and, I thought we played quite well. We moved the ball pretty well, but maybe our final pass or final finishing touch wasn't quite there, and some decisions in the final third I think we could have done a better job with, but I can't be too disappointed with going in halftime with 2-0 lead.
Sasha, in that diamond midfield there, you really encourage the outside backs, Ambrose and Cyrus to get forward quite a bit. Is that something you're going to continue into the second half as well?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we would like to get Jordan a little bit further up. Ambrose did a great job getting forward, but we need to get some more width in the final third, whether it comes out of our forwards or the outside backs. We still got to attack the end line a little bit more, and we're lacking a hard near post run at this point, and we got to correct that in the second half.
Yeah, missed probably another chance for goal, but all in all, it must be pleased. Sasha, as always, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Sasha Sorowski joining us, 2-0. The Maryland Terrapins on top here at Ludwig Field. And again, our ACC Digital Network coverage continuing here at Ludwig Field. 2-0 is our score, but we're going to step away from College Park And we'll go to our ACC Digital Network studios for an update, and back with more men's soccer coverage in a moment.
Thanks so much, Dave. Hope everyone is enjoying ACC Soccer, Maryland versus Virginia Tech, here on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Jeff Fischel here with Riley Skinner. Of course, we're talking the big game, Tallahassee, Saturday night. Florida State and Clemson, these two teams, both in the top 10 in the country. Riley, let's start with what Florida State is doing offensively. Over 50 points a game. What's Clemson have to do to slow them down?
Well, Florida State has had a much improved rushing offense, which was really missing last year. And Clemson has shown a little bit of vulnerability in their rush defense, especially when you look at the Auburn game. So what Clemson's going to have to do is that front seven is going to have to play downhill. They're going to have to keep contained of the FSU running backs because they've been most explosive when they can get outside. And when they get outside, that's when you need your safeties to help come in on tackles. And when your safeties are downhill like that, you put a lot of pressure outside on your cornerbacks. So the front seven of Clemson is going to be the #1 thing, in my opinion, to watch this week.
The Noles and Tigers, 8 p.m. Saturday night. Another team that puts pressure on our defense, Georgia Tech, tons of yards from that triple option, and Miami's been known to give up yards with their defense right now.
You talk about two teams that are going in the complete opposite direction right now. Georgia Tech is starting to fire on all cylinders after that loss to Virginia Tech, and Miami's defense, good gracious, they're giving up over 460 yards a game, 100th in the country. They're going to have to do some self-examination this week and really look to see what kind of character do these guys have if they can bounce back, because they're about to get the biggest test in terms of a rushing attack from the Georgia Tech offense and Tevin Washington, who has begun to play very efficiently both in the run game and the passing game. So they've got to step it up if they don't want it to be a long day.
You know, a couple games I'm really interested to watch this weekend, a couple out-of-conference games. Virginia taking on TCU and Maryland traveling to West Virginia.
And anything can happen in college football. Maryland can get a win against West Virginia. Virginia can beat TCU. It's going to be an uphill battle traveling to their respective teams because they have a hostile environment. But what I want to see, both teams are coming off tough losses. They need to look and really improve on what they have struggled with the week before. Virginia, they turned the ball over way too many times. I want to see improvement in this game on their struggles from the week before. And I think if they click on all cylinders, they can go into both these stadiums and get upsets. But it's going to be tough because these are two very good teams in West Virginia and TCU.
Two very good chances for the conference to prove itself out of conference. Quickly, Virginia Tech trying to recover against Bowling Green.
Listen, let me say this. I think a team's personality and their identity is exposed when they meet adversity, and they have definitely hit adversity. So I want to see how this Bud Foster defense mainly, not the offense, the defense bounces back, because they're the veterans on this team, and they should be the ones that lead these teams to wins.
It really was surprising how that defense performed against Pitt. Remember, you can join Riley and me, Dorsey Levens, and Kelly Nash every Saturday, 11 a.m. on ACC Kickoff Live. We break down every game in the ACC, 11 a.m. every Saturday. But for now, let's head out to College Park. More of that ACC soccer match. Dave Johnson, John Harkes. Gentlemen.
Well, thanks so much, Jeff, for that ACC Digital Network update, and we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight on the ACC Digital Network. I always knew you and I would go worldwide one day. Dave Johnson, John Harkes here.
It's been fun. It's been fun. It's good. It's good to get back into the ACC. I'll tell you, Dave, I miss it.
I feel so global right now as we present this match from Ludwig Field. And again, you're looking at part of the story in the ACC. Terrific crowds wherever you go, and Ludwig Field is just one example of that. And it's the Maryland Terrapins right now with a 2-0 lead on Virginia Tech. A strong showing in the first half from the Terrapins. Again, ACC fans, you can get the video you want the way you want it. We invite you to subscribe to the ACC Digital Network channel on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/ACC Digital Network. Click subscribe, and you will see upcoming games like this, Mr. Harkes. A full slate of men's and women's games to keep you up to date on your computer. That, of course, somebody tells me that's a pretty good rivalry, North Carolina-Duke next week.
Yeah, not too shabby, huh? Not too shabby. You know, you look at a defending champion right there, and Duke trying to compete under John Kerr and trying to get back into things. Certainly want to get to the College Cup themselves. Wake Forest University against UVA.
And women's
UVA
soccer.
women's soccer doing very well.
Well, I think you know a little bit about UVA women's soccer as well. Your lovely wife, Cindy, played at the University of Virginia as well. Of course, John, an ACC grad, from the University of Virginia, among other things. Again, just to pass along to you some news and notes as we started out at the top of the broadcast. We told you Maryland right now, number one in the nation, and I think we're getting a glimpse as to why that is. This team with a 5-0-1 record, that one tie, a 2-2 tie with UCLA, and they've outscored teams 21-5. So
right.
We're certainly seeing the challenge that Virginia Tech is seeing tonight in facing the number one team in the nation.
Yeah, and I think too, Dave, it goes back to even how Maryland's gotten to this point and the confidence they have. Big result over at North Carolina State, 3-2. Their last game against Old Dominion, they actually started the game, were up 1-0, and due to the weather was canceled over about 20-odd minutes. So they're having a good season. And like I said before, it's been a big test for Virginia Tech so far early on. I mean, to go away to North Carolina and then have to match up against Boston College, and now you're here against the number one team in the country. Yeah, it's a very big challenge for them. So early days, yeah, but it could get better for Virginia Tech as it goes on.
We'll continue with more of our coverage from Ludwig Field in just a moment. So glad you're with us on the ACC Digital Network. 2-0 is the score.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Time now for the Ram Power Plays of the Week from around the ACC.
Cornelius, this is his third punt and his best. And Butler, no fair catch, giving ground, continues to give ground all the way back to the 25, the 20, trying to set up the wall. Coming back the other way to midfield and more. Still on his feet, in the clear. Race to the end zone. Touchdown, Duke.
And rolling back, that's Brown. Play action, Hill's walking for his wife, the pass deflected into the hands of Diggs for a touchdown.
He just throws it up. He puts Leak up the bat, Leak battling, and here comes Diggs. He gets the little tip for the touchdown.
Watkins shifts to the wing. He'll take the handoff, and there it goes. Goodbye, Sammy. A track mate, a touchdown.
We talked about Watkins' acceleration, Paul. What you don't know and you can't understand or appreciate until you play him is his flat-out foot speed. Acceleration, yes. Top-end speed, maybe as good as anybody in the country.
Morris has completed it to 9 different receivers.
Wow. Did you see that?
What a move. Touchdown.
Are you kidding me? Wow. He is amazing.
There's a big run from Chris Thompson. Past the 50-yard line. He can outrun the defender. Breaks a tackle at the 20. Thompson's in. Touchdown. 74-yard touchdown scamper by Chris Thompson.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app presented by Carrabba's. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows Phone. The ACC mobile app, live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Visit theacc.com/apps.
Dave Johnson, John Harkes back at Ludwig Field in College Park, and we're glad you're part of history with us tonight. This is the first ever men's soccer broadcast on the ACC Digital Network, and we're glad you're a part of it with us as well as, again, the future is coming right to us, and we're glad to be here tonight. Hey, you know, something that you might want to keep in mind if you're a Terrapin or a Virginia Tech Hokie fan, my hunch is some of our viewers tonight might fall into that category. ACC Kickoff Live is tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. 1 hour of the teams that you care, and I emphasize that word care most about. ACC Kickoff Live, Saturdays at 11. It's only on the ACC Digital Network, and it's brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. That's tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We get set for the second half of this one. Now, I want to just touch with you, John. You went to the University of Virginia, and, of course, you know the ACC experience firsthand. What sticks out for you about your experience in this conference, specifically as a soccer conference?
I just think the number one thing, Dave, and it was a huge learning curve for me when I went to UVA, not just on the field itself under Bruce Arena, but off the field. And the ACC, I think, it provides you the life skills, not just the competition level in terms of soccer, but everything about it. The competition is fantastic for you. You walk away with such a great experience. And really, if you look around how strong the conference is, I mean, every game you play in the ACC is a tough game. It really is. But what a tremendous experience. I was very fortunate to go to UVA. Like I said, Bruce Arena, a national team coach. Bob Bradley, he was coaching there as well. Dave Sarakin was an assistant in there. Bob Jenkins.
I've heard of these
Richmond
guys.
Kickers. Yeah. Some pretty good guys. So I was very fortunate to be part of that experience and, compete against teams like Maryland, against Virginia Tech, against UNC. It goes right down the list. It's been fantastic.
Well, the amazing thing, again, about your journey is then a couple years after doing that, you're competing for Sheffield Wednesday against some of the great teams in England.
Yeah, and the
Virginia was the launching pad for that.
Absolutely, David. It does provide you a great, some of the tools that you need to succeed at the next level. And a lot of people they forget that. It is a breeding ground into Major League Soccer right now, the college level. And certainly a lot of players, as you already stated, coming through Maryland under Sasho Sarosky, but also in the ACC itself.
Well, and you mentioned life experiences, and I've told people over and over again, and just allow me to brag on you for a second. You went to England at a very difficult time where they were not accepting of Yanks and American players, and having that college experience and that foundation no doubt helped you navigate through what had to be a very difficult period.
It did, and the adversity that you go in, and certainly when you travel, like even when you go down to like a Wake Forest, even you have those challenges there. It's 5 hours away, whatever it may be. You understand that that's part of it, and the makeup, the personality that you have, the character and stuff. It really did help, prepare me to go overseas, and I was very fortunate to have a professional career, coming out of college, which was excellent.
And we're very fortunate to be with you tonight on the ACC Digital Network. We get set for the start of the second half between Maryland and Virginia Tech. Again, Virginia Tech is in the white jerseys and Maryland in the dark jerseys. And Maryland, it must be said, they've been the dominant team. They've got the 2 goals, but this is a Virginia Tech team defined by just a tremendous spirit. You talk to their coaching staff. They're so proud of this team's ability to battle back. And the great example last week, of course, as we look at some of the highlights of the first half, was their 1-1 tie with Boston College. That was probably the best chance for Virginia Tech in the first half. Fiorello with the crack on goal. Shilo Schuma gets a cross off, but Kyle Renfro able to snare it. But this is a lot of what we were seeing, just these waves of Maryland attacks. And that's a wave that's pretty nice for Patrick Mullins. He scored to put Maryland up 1-0.
We see again, I mean, Renford does the best he can. He makes the initial save, Dave. And you think at that point the keeper's done his job, and you're looking for the rest of the defense to kind of help him and clean up. And there's nobody there. Patrick Mullins completely unmarked for that first goal.
And this is Mikey Ambrose, who we were watching him. He was on our side of the field as he approached the box, and you could sense he had the head goes up, he gets that extra space in the box, he's thinking one thing.
You know what I like about what Ambrose did? He picked his head up, he saw the traffic, and he said, you know what, I'm going to stick it in the mixer anyway. I'm going to put it right through there, and it makes it difficult for the keeper, Kyle Renfro.
Mike Brizendine has joined us. First of all, congratulations on the birth of Sloan. We wanted to pass that along to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
I know your thoughts on the second half, because your team has been a team that's been able to fight back from adversity. How do you get more possession in the second half?
Yeah, again, we just got to deal with their pressure, and we didn't do a very good job of that. We let them bunker us in, and, they're too good to let them bunker us in. And so we just have to have some composure, keep the ball, and try to get into a rhythm here. Again, I commend them in their first half efforts, Maryland, because of what they did, and they put us under that duress. But I think that, we will see something different here in the second half.
Well, listen, congratulations, and also congratulations on the birth of your daughter. That's just terrific news.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike Brizendine, the head coach of Virginia Tech, as his Hokies in front of him right now have possession.
I wonder if Coach Brizendine is actually going to apply maybe a different tactic, Dave, in terms of a formation that can open up the game a little bit for him. Playing that 4-3-3, it looks like you said a 4-5-1, and they leave Clements up there on his own. That's really difficult to break down and actually trying to relieve any pressure at all, because Maryland, They hunt the ball down straight away, Dave, don't they? As soon as they lose that ball, they are chasing there, digging in. Their work ethic is excellent, as we see right here. Look at this.
Stewart trying to get through. Schumer the pressure. Jed Prater has to put it at the back, and indeed, now the pinball, and this could be a corner kick coming up for Maryland. So this is an example of what Virginia Tech has been dealing with all night long.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. It's Led Zeppelin communication breakdown there in the back line, unfortunately. But it does happen. I mean, I've seen Casey Keller do that against Mexico.
Yep.
Hermosillo, right? Off the head, goes back in the goal. So this one, they're lucky to escape without the ball going in the goal. Certainly leads to a corner again. And this is where you see Edwards and Woodbury coming forward for Maryland. Number 22, Woodbury. Number 18, Edwards.
Ambrose now to Jordan Cyrus. Cyrus sending it in. Stewart getting up to head it out. Aticha touches it to Dakota Edwards, the center back, who's still forward from the corner kick.
It's good patience from Edwards.
Jordan Cyrus. Right back storming it through. Turned by Shilo Shuma. Stewart marking. Shuma.
Stewart doing a good job, actually. Shuma, we've seen in the first half, Dave, how explosive he can be and really just change of direction so quick with the control on the ball.
Another corner kick for the Maryland Terrapins. Mikey Ambrose standing under the banner that says National Champions 2008. Indeed, that kind of serves as a reminder what they're trying to do, get back to the College Cup. Nice ball in traffic. Renfro gets on it now. Mullins storms the gate. And finally, it's cleared out. I believe it was Jed Prater who was able to boot it out of there for Virginia Tech.
You see Kyle Renfro, the keeper, was all over Patrick Mullins there. Got a hand on the first one, but certainly the traffic there is difficult for any keeper to get on that second ball.
Now Virginia Tech finally getting some relief. Clemens puts the pressure as he bounces off Cardona, the keeper, and he's down is David Clemens. So he kicked into touch. And the athletic training staff for Virginia Tech may be summoned to the field. Well, let's see if that is the case. Referee Dan Fitzgerald investigating. We're on the ACC Digital Network tonight. The 2 goals in the first half for the Maryland Terrapins. Clemens, he's been playing, as we said, they call it a 4-3-3. He's a junior, but he's really been more like a target up there. And, you know, is that the answer? You play more Route 1 if you're Virginia Tech.
This is the thing, too. And you know, I've looked at different managers and coached with different managers that say tactically it's not working. We have to change. And there's nothing wrong with playing a more direct type of system, Dave, as long as it's not a hopeful long ball. Just like knocking it up to anybody, that becomes a bit ugly, as we know. But if you can actually find the technique and the tactical awareness to play those balls forward, link up from the player there, and go to goal from there, that's something that can seriously work for Virginia Tech.
Loretano given a warning. Daniel Loretano. So free kick coming up for the Maryland Terrapins. London Woodbury. This is Patrick Mullins looking for the runner over the top. Renfro read it well. That was Sonny Jane making the run. And you can see the quality of Kyle Renfro. That was a wise choice to get out there and get after that ball because Sonny Jane was knifing through the center of the midfield.
He's a solid goalkeeper for sure, Dave. And he actually reads the game very well.
Confusion over the throw-in. It'll be for Maryland. Ambrose for Mullins. Mullins unceremoniously dumped. And this could be a card for Drew Anahan. At least a stern warning. And I think that's probably the way to.
You and I were down on the field, Dave, prior to the game, and watching Drew Ranahan and the rest of the boys warm up, and he was quite tall, but I didn't realize how tall the referee was. He was standing next to him there.
Sonny Jane. Ben Strong wins it instead. All right, Loretano. Now, let's see how Virginia Tech can break out, but look at the Maryland numbers. It becomes a sea of 6 dark jerseys around 1 white jersey.
Well, it's hard for Virginia Tech to even get, the positioning right, because once the ball turns over again, they're getting stretched. They don't want to commit too far forward.
Woodbury, Renfro.
Yeah, and leave those gaps right there.
Yeah.
You see Woodbury even coming forward now. And then, Cyrus drops back in there next to Edwards, and they cover in their balance. It's very good. Get a feeling that Renfro's going to be a busy man again this year, Dave, as he was last year.
Led the conference in saves last year and came into tonight's game with 32. For a Virginia Tech side that had played 6 games. Aticha winning the ball. Metzger now.
Very nice pass there from Metzger.
There's quite a battle going on between Mullins and Ranahan. And, I mean, Ranahan is getting into Mullins' body at one point. Of course, we saw Dan Fitzgerald, the referee, is warning Ranahan as he was frustrated. And this is the other part of the equation. Virginia Tech, you got to try to control your emotions because no doubt there's reason for them to be frustrated. It's been a tough night.
Right, and the longer it goes 0-0, no goals in the second half, Dave, it gives Virginia Tech an optimistic view and saying, look, maybe we can pip one and get back into it, but they've got to get close to Mullins. They know they've got to shut him down. They cannot give him the space they gave him in the first half.
He provided the first goal for the Maryland Terrapins tonight on the ACC Digital Network. Again, with you next Friday, 7 o'clock, North Carolina and Duke on the ACC Digital Network. That's always a good one. Apparently North Carolina leads Virginia 1-0. You didn't want me to give that score, I don't think.
I just felt a pain go right through my system, Dave. Thank you. Oh.
Once a Cavalier, always a Cavalier.
Got to give credit to UNC, Carlos Semwana, taking over that university and getting them to that championship, Dave. Did a very good job. Excellent coach.
Taking over from one of the iconic coaches of the ACC, Elmar Bolovich.
When Elmar left, I was surprised. I was very surprised. He's done such a great job. Legendary coach, Elmar Bolovich. Look how tight it is. And see how Maryland just gets around the ball, Dave, so quickly. They're hunting packs. It's almost 2-3 players at a time.
Woodbury. Searching ball for Sonny Jane. Be a throw-in coming up for Virginia Tech. The Hokie commitment certainly still there. Good look at Dan Metzger playing a holding midfield role. Helge Laikvang has been injured.
Fiorello just threw that ball about 40 yards without even having a step or a wind-up or anything. Only a senior on the team, David Fiorello, number 7.
Scored from 35 yards out last week against Boston College.
Brilliant goal.
And, of course, he's had probably the best chance tonight for Virginia Tech. That volley from distance went wide. There'll be a free kick coming up now. This time David Clemens is fouled. Much to the frustration of Metzger. Some jersey tugging going on. Jed Prater standing over the ball. First-year captain. The other captain, Fiorella, a 3-time captain of this Virginia Tech team. Don't have a lot of size, although Ranahan, the defender, is certainly one option as this is sent in. Stewart. It's often the second ball that can be more dangerous, but not that time. Throwing coming up for Maryland.
You can see they were trying to catch Maryland coming out there and trying to keep a high line, just shifting the point of attack, switching it from left to right. And you talked about the size there, and that's where they missed DeBose.
DeBose, yeah. Devontae DeBose again. Red card last week, Boston College. Freshman Hunter Jesse is stepping in. Center of defense is now Jed Prater. Ben Strong. Enterprising stuff here is Clemens for Virginia Tech. Prater across the 6, but Metzger has it read. But some of the best interplay we've seen for Virginia Tech tonight.
Yeah, it was very good, and I think it's when Strong, he really picked the ball up, Dave, and he ran at the heart of the defense there from Maryland. Created some opportunities there for Clemens up top. It's better that Fiorello just getting around the ball. The more he's around the ball, Dave, they can dictate the rhythm of the play.
Clemens having to come all the way back.
Well, that's all it is right there. 2-3 passes from Virginia Tech, and they able to gain the possession, get some rhythm in their game. Great ball. Excellent play by Burns.
Fizzles out, but we've started to at least see the passes stringing together for Virginia Tech. So I think if they can get that passing movement going, that's when you've got to switch. You've got to unbalance this Maryland defense somehow, because you said they swarm and hunt in packs. Sturzer clipped off the ball by Prater. But the surprise element coming in, Aticha. Oh, Mekaesa Aticha. That was a ball just sitting there, and Aticha said, I'll take it, and he did.
Very quick to pounce on that, Dave, and then he exploded through the midfield. And he figured he's in a good spot there. Why not test the keeper a little bit? But as we could see, that's been the story of this season, and even last season. Kyle Renfro is up for the challenge. I do like that explosive pace there. You see Aticha from the outside crossing.
Sonny Jane trying to put it up for Patrick Mullins. Second half action here at Ludwig Field on the ACC Digital Network. I'm Dave Johnson along with John Harkes. Got Maryland, the #1 ranked team in the nation, in the dark jerseys. They've got the 2-goal lead. Virginia Tech, though, still with plenty of that spirit. Cameron Owens breaking it up in the midfield. Clemens tackled by Metzger. Clemens gets back up.
Wow, Dan Metzger, what a player.
Yeah.
Huh? Does such a great job of not only holding the ball, distribution, setting the tone for this Maryland side, but recovering the ball quickly.
Shilo Shuma. Ranahan delayed his progress. Forces him to go wide to Cyrus. The right back gets forward. Aticha. Runs out of options. Loretano now. Cameron Owens. Needs help from Austin Stewart, his left back. Gives Maryland a chance to reload. Half hour left. Both teams looking to make substitutions. In fact, Pompilio is set to come back on for Virginia Tech. And we're going to get a foul on Metzger as Owens is tripped up. So a free kick coming up here for Virginia Tech. And it looks like, he's going to get a yellow card. This will be the yellow card to Dan Metzger. So the first booking of the game, and now Virginia Tech has a set piece. And given the way this game is played out, John, you really have to look at this as a golden opportunity for Virginia Tech. They're going to find a way back in. The set pieces certainly has to be one avenue.
Absolutely. That's where you change games.
Jed Prater sending it in. It'll be a goal kick. So that did not change the game on that occasion.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Prater, I know he wants to kind of put a little bit of height on that to maybe allow, like, Renahan with the height that he has to get underneath it. But if he angles it a little bit towards that 6-yard box in the back post there, might be a little bit more of a threat.
So Pompilio will come in for Owens. Jeremy Rayleigh is checking in. He'll replace Mikaesa Aticha. I think Virginia Tech gets Pompilio more of a forward in the game. Owens more of a midfielder. They've really not been able, because of Maryland's possession, to play much through the midfield.
Right, and it's very congested in there too. They do a good job, Maryland, of tucking in the outside players, closing down the gaps. And Owens has been, he's looking for the ball. He's always showing. He's just not getting enough of it.
Clemens fouled by Sturzer. Be a free kick coming up for Virginia Tech. Patrick Mullins, Mikey Ambrose, they provided the goals for us tonight here on the ACC Digital Network. That was in the first half.
Wow, what a good ball by Fiorello. Excellent ball.
Stewart now sending it in. Ben Strong in position there, could not climb and get a header on it. There'll be a goal kick coming up for Maryland.
It was a good position there by Ambrose, though. He just gave him a little bit of a bump, enough to put him off.
A reminder, the ACC Digital Network is fully interactive. You can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and of course on our official YouTube channel, where you can leave comments about how much you love our live streaming games. We certainly hope that's the case. And the exclusive content is we take you on campus, and we appreciate you tuning in tonight to the ACC Digital Network. But we hope you check out one of those many social media options. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Austin Stewart. Clemens chest traps it. Prater into space. Nobody there, though. Jessius trying to win it for Virginia Tech instead of Maryland now.
Jessius doing a good job of making himself, imposing himself as a freshman in this team. He's got his hands full as a center back tonight against Maryland. Very, very threatening side. Many players from Maryland, Dave, are always going to be, it's not just one or two, it's like 5 or 6 that can actually, cause an attack.
Now, Sasha Swarovski calls this the deepest team he's had.
Yeah, he was saying prior to the game that he's like, look, I've got players, I got a wealth of talent here in the depth. I'm going to have to make some subs tonight, and get players on the pitch. So he's not trying to disrupt the play, but he certainly wants to get players on that are competing for spots. That lends itself to a good environment, Dave, doesn't it, in training and everything else, just competing for a spot, trying to get into that starting 11.
Now, it's often said competition is the best coach. As Francois will come on, replace Sonny Jane, and there's probably a good example. I mean, Sonny Jane, one electric player, goes out, and Francois certainly can provide those electric moments. Cyrus. Little flick by Schuma, looking for Francois making the run. Understand Wake Forest and Duke going to overtime. North Carolina still leading Duke 1-0. Virginia 1-0, pardon me. That's next week on ACC Digital Network.
Right.
North Carolina and Duke.
28th. It'll be on the 28th. A lot of friends and a lot of people looking forward to that game. Catch it on the digital network. ACC, I tell you, Dave, it's unbelievable that we're doing this. It's fantastic.
Well,
It's great that they want to expose the game this way, though.
No, it's
more people want to watch ACC.
It's a great shop window. And Ludwig Field.
I'll tell you, my parents would have loved to have seen that.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't travel from Jersey down in Virginia.
Saved a lot of trips on the Jersey Turnpike. Ben Strong.
Great ball.
Getting it to Loretano. And he does not get by Jordan Cyrus.
Wow.
Stewart comes in, but Cyrus.
Excellent defending by Cyrus.
Thunders it away.
Fantastic play.
Now Francois trying to wheel and deal. And that's what's missing from his game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why many provides electric moments, but it's that final ball that he's struggled to provide.
Yeah, that's just that control, Dave, you know, just being able to make the right decision. You see the runs off the ball certainly are there for him, but Schuma, he was calling for it. He wanted it earlier.
Patrick Mullins looking up top for Schuma.
You see how deep Patrick Mullins has dropped off into the midfield already.
Francois. That's a good ball for Sturzer. Sturzer. Well, again, 14 goals a year ago. He has 4 on this campaign.
It was interesting to me because as the ball got played in from Francois, Sturzer almost hesitated a bit, didn't he, Dave? He stepped to the ball. He was going to hit it, and then he let it roll across his body a little bit too much. And at that point, he's kind of reaching for it. But fine player, though, Sturzer. Very good player.
Crowd gets revved up here at Ludwig Field.
And he's having a good year, like you said, Dave. 4 goals already. He's certainly making an impact coming forward out of that midfield role.
Like he's on skates, Francois. And Renfro, no trouble with that. You see all the fans behind Renfro. That's a terrific end of the stadium there. You look over there, it's like looking at an English ground with everybody jammed in.
That's amazing. It's like the crew are on both sides,
Yes.
right? They're on the both ends of the goal. That's the name of the supporters group here. That's a good ball through.
Promise here from Virginia Tech. Clemens. Support from Ben Strong. That's another good ball. Loretano gets involved. Clemens. Some of the best possession from Virginia Tech. Prater gets it to Stewart. Stewart has space, but not the finish.
He's trying to come inside there. It's really good recovery from Maryland to get numbers back behind the ball.
Jake Pace will come in for Maryland, replace Shilo Schuma. And Loretano will also go out.
Yeah, it looked like Drew Hartel coming in.
Yep.
Number 10 for Virginia Tech Hokies.
Hartel had a goal against St. Bonaventure in that 4-0 win for Virginia Tech.
Only a freshman, Hartel.
Again, only one senior. The captain, Fiorello, for Virginia Tech. Strong buzzing through. Hartel just into the game. Gets the cross off. Dakota Edwards sorts it out. Pompilio was there at the 6. Be a throw-in coming up for Virginia Tech. It's been more promising moments for Virginia Tech in the second half.
I think that right now I'm watching Sasha Sarovsky. Looks a little bit more concerned, Dave, because Maryland has taken their foot off the gas pedal a little bit, opening up the door here, and Virginia Tech's taking advantage of it. They're really starting to gain territory, get into the final third a little bit more.
This is the captain, the senior, David Fiorello, with the throw-in. It's not going to reach the distance he wanted. Now Maryland always blazing, looking for the counter. Francois. This will go behind Jake Pace, but Pace controls it. Rayleigh has now gotten forward. Cyrus, the right back. Denied by Hunter Burns.
Well, the game itself looked like it was going to explode there with Francois, but he plays the ball slow and behind
yep.
Pace, yeah, and it really just kind of takes that play away.
Again, that's what's missing right now from his game, that final ball. This is Clemens. Strong. Ben Strong in traffic. Clemens. Well,
Strong's turning it on, isn't he, Dave?
He's really changed the game for Virginia
Tech. The one-on-one situation with Strong is doing a good job.
And that's helping get Clemens involved. And I think those are
Absolutely.
two things that have to happen for Virginia Tech to find a way back. They've got 20 minutes.
Ben Strong from Mendon, New Jersey.
Sent in by Prater.
A lot of Jersey boys being represented here tonight. Cardona as well. Cardona's a Jersey boy. Ridgewood.
In the broadcast booth from Kearney. Jake Pace. Mullins scored the first goal. Stewart redirects it out of the box. But Maryland, they've got the numbers forward, a chance for more. Pompilio marking the right back. Cyrus Stewart comes over, tackles it away, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for Maryland.
A very good double team from Stewart. Made a good decision, committed to the ball. Excellent job.
This is Rayleigh. Metzger, nice turn. Metzger from distance. It's a great example of how you can create space with just a simple turn.
Oh, I mean, I love that from Dan Metzger. This player, he has it all. He's a full package. Great awareness. Takes his first touch, prepares it, cuts inside. Says, why not? He's 35 yards out there, Dave. Great technique. Just lean back just a bit. But to threaten from distance like that and take shots from the outside, we always talk about Barcelona. They want to walk the ball in, right? You need players to strike the ball from outside, so then the defenders of the opposite team have to step up to close that down. Goalkeeper saying, right, automatically the first reaction is go close it down. Then when you close it down, then the space opens up in behind, then you can slip it in.
Sturzer. Francois. Now Ambrose. Like maybe a handball, yep. Yeah, free kick coming up. So he's trying to link up with Sturzer up top.
You see Ambrose, when he does come forward, he's holding a little bit more, Dave, this second half, isn't he?
Yep.
He doesn't seem to be, having that freedom to go anymore. But I want him to take another 2-3 touches, get down that line. He's got the pace to do it. Mikey Ambrose getting that second goal. His first of the year, right, Dave?
First of the year, yes.
Very good strike. Freshman from Frisco, Texas. Number 5 left back for Maryland.
Home of FC Dallas have a couple of Frisco. Virginia Tech has a player from Frisco, Texas as well. It's becoming more and more a soccer area.
Well, I think at times Francois just needs to slow his game down. He always wants to go one speed, and that's very fast and quick, the number 3 up front. And there he is again.
Goes off Francois' body. It'll be a goal kick coming up. Terrapin and Hokie football fans, you don't want to miss ACC Kickoff Live. That's tomorrow morning at 11. It's 1 hour of the teams that you care most about. ACC Kickoff Live, again, it's Saturdays at 11 o'clock. It's only on the ACC Digital Network. Proudly brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
You like the all-you-can-eat salad in Ruby Tuesday, don't you, Dave? It's pretty good. Soup and salad, all you can eat.
Yeah, it's as long as you're buying, I'm happy.
Hey, I owe you one, don't I? I owe you.
I think, yeah.
What do you mean one? He looked at me like one.
The trouble is you won't go to Ruby Tuesday on any other day.
Hey, come on now. I do like my food.
It's because you played for Sheffield Wednesday.
That's right. Dum-dum.
Patrick Mullins. Oh, Rayleigh.
Yeah, I want Patrick Mullins to be greedy there. So do you.
I could see it. It was like watching waiting for a snake to bite. I thought he was going to unleash it.
And the
Unselfish.
And the thing is, Dave, he's just as good on his right as he is on his left. So, I mean, he could have easily just let that one rip. It was a good run inside, top of the 18. We've seen before with Ambrose's strike, sometimes when there's a lot of traffic in front of you, it makes it very difficult for Kyle Renfro.
Savasa Endo is taking the corner kick. He just came in for Francois.
Yeah, no execution there for Maryland.
So we'll have a goal kick coming up for Virginia Tech. 15 minutes left. The 2 first-half goals standing up. Tsubasa Endo, who is from Japan, had opportunities with J-League clubs, but wanted to get an education here in the United States. Came to Sasho Swarovski's soccer camp a couple years ago. And the supporters of Maryland, they let opposing goalkeepers hear it. Now this has some promise as coming out, Cardona. It's Virginia Tech now, trying to say, hey, we're not done yet with 15 minutes left. Unsettled at the back for Maryland is Endo now. Will try to settle things down, but Virginia Tech, Devin Mason had gotten forward. Well, they tried to link up with Jake Pace. Mason for Clemens. Hunter Burns switching the point of attack. This is Mason, fresh legs. Or pardon me, that was Hartel, I believe, that took the shot.
Well, it's good play from Virginia Tech. A little bit more patience there. And Hartel kept it on the outside there, linked up with Clemens, switching the point of attack. And then you see Hunter, just very good ball to the back post.
Hunter Burns switched it. Virginia Tech, this is what Mike Brizendine likes about this club. They fight, they keep fighting. No doubt have to be frustrated. Really not getting many opportunities, but now they're trying to buzz a little more. Jake Pace, though. He's a lot to deal with in the box. Endo steps up. Across the 6, it's headed down. Renfro makes the save.
That was a good ball in there from Endo. He found pace. Look at this tackle right here again. Metzer just having a brilliant game tonight for Maryland. There's some space right there for Clemens.
Clemens. Strong making a run, the through ball, trying to split the defenders.
Yeah, just taking care of that ball a little bit more, Dave, right? The runs are coming now. The game's starting to open up even more. So we get into closer to the 12th minute here in the second half.
It's kind of that feel, the way it's going, there's going to be another goal. Just which team?
Shuma coming back on the field here, Dave, number 23 for Maryland.
So Jeremy Rayleigh getting a good run tonight, but now Shuma comes back in.
I see Shuma going out into the right side. It's almost at times it looks like Maryland switched to a 4-3-3. The amount of players getting forward. Certainly players, they make the tactical changes, don't they, Dave, on the field? They're the ones who put the formation into play. I did think Patrick Mullins, though, was more threatening when he was playing higher up the pitch in the first half.
Yep.
He's dropped a lot into the midfield. I think they miss him holding the ball up as well, linking up with players.
I understand North Carolina defeating Virginia 1-0. Again, they'll be on ACC Digital Network next week against Duke. Sturzer. Stewart gets over there for the tackle. A throw-in coming up for Maryland. Shiloh Shuma. Let the throw-in go to Jordan Cyrus. Pace gets the turn. No trouble from Renfro. Second overtime, Wake Forest and Duke tonight. That's still scoreless. 2-0 our scoreline here, but both coming in the first half. From Patrick Mullins and Mikey Ambrose from Maryland.
That game, Duke down at Winston-Salem. It's a homecoming tonight for Wake Forest. So I'm sure they have a big crowd there, Dave.
Jay Vidovich has done a wonderful job of that Wake Forest program. And an injured Maryland player on the field.
Yeah, we see Woodbury, it looks like, Dave.
Yep. Now we see Widner St. Cyr getting set to check in for Maryland. As St. Cyr initially was going to fill in at the right back tonight with Ambrose moving to left back as Taylor Kemp, one of the captains, is out with injury. But St. Cyr, a late scratch. He was late returning from a personal matter.
Yeah, family matter. Certainly, you know, he was away at a funeral and talked to Sasha Swarovski, and certainly all of the prayers go out for him and his family. And he was able to fly back in today. Very close to, you know, the late afternoon as well. So
Widner St. Cyr indeed gets on the field.
Yep, number 8. So he will come on.
And the athletic training staff tending to London Woodbury. There's Widner St. Cyr.
I'm not sure if Woodbury just has a cramp there, Dave, or if he.
Oh, it's Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus. Yeah,
it is Cyrus. Yeah.
Well, he's worked awfully hard tonight.
Oh, he's had a great game tonight.
And again,
Cyrus.
he was. We didn't expect him to get the start, so he certainly has accounted well for himself over 80 minutes.
Yeah. Very good game from Jordan Cyrus.
So it looks like Cyrus will come off, and Widner St. Cyr, that's a like-for-like substitution. Maryland less than 10 minutes away from remaining unbeaten. Again, they are 5-0-1. UCLA actually came here to Ludwig Field and provided the lone tie, a 2-2 tie.
You talk about, Dave, what this program has meant for, you know, the feeder system into Major League Soccer. You know, even one of the players that stands out for me now, Graham Zusi of Sporting Kansas City.
Yes.
University of Maryland, who's getting his first international caps this year under Jurgen Klinsmann. What a terrific season he's having again. Brilliant.
And what a result the other night for Sporting Kansas City on the road against New York.
Yeah, it was huge. 2-0 win.
Endo, that's a good ball for Jake Pace. Renfro is out. But that's nice quality there by Endo, the lead pace. Dan Fitzgerald is talking to Hunter Jessius, who did well to shield Jake Pace. That's like a truck bearing down on you.
Yeah, he was trying to do his best job there, I think, actually. You know, Jake Pace had stepped on the bottom of his shoe there. You see his shoe came off.
Metzger. Widner St. Cyr just into the game. Slowed by Devin Mason. Sturzer. Maryland looks to invent. Give the home fans one more goal to go home with is Pace now.
Very good patience in the build-up here.
Patrick Mullins. Pace is in the 6. Stewart has to head it away. Schuma is in the area. Mason frees it, but it's St. Cyr. Schuma sending it in. Mullins going up for it. Ben Strong defends well. Fiorillo is able to head it away. Now Virginia Tech has to clear. Clemens does well to run onto that ball. Pressured and fouled by Metzger. A free kick coming up for Virginia Tech. For as hard as they've worked tonight, you know they'd love to at least get one here.
Well, I'm not sure if at this point, though, if they are going to send the foe. Yep, there they go, the tall trees out of the back. There comes the two center backs coming up, Dave.
If not now, when is I think what they're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's been strong over the ball. Cardona punches it out. Hunter Burns pinballs it. Prater tried to tackle it to win it back. Instead, Shiloh Schuma gets onto it for Maryland. He's pressured by Fiorello. Metzger wins it for Maryland, though. They've been so good with that high pressure all night. It's made it difficult for Virginia Tech. From distance, St. Cyr.
Wow, what an impact he's made already. Good skill on the ball. Does not look like a right back. Very confident to take people on.
And he's won a corner kick for the Terrapins. And St. Cyr, in fact, will take that corner. 5 minutes and change left in this Friday night match on ACC Digital Network. Instead, it'll be Ambrose who'll come over and take it. And again, that's appropriate. That's right under that 2008 National Champions banner that hangs over. That's the goal for this Maryland team, to get back to the College Cup. Ambrose sending it in. Scored it out of play by Clemens. Another corner kick coming up for the Terrapins.
You see Edwards coming up on that back post, Dave. Clemens had to clear that one out just to make sure.
Sabasa Endo will come over and take this corner now for Maryland. The packed-in supporters behind that goal of Kyle Renfro. They'd love to see Maryland break through at their end. The other two goals, the only two goals, scored at the other end of the field in the first half. Virginia Tech has fought hard tonight, but we are witnessing Maryland. They are the #1 team in the nation.
Great play by Ambrose. Keep possession there. Under pressure, left back. Done very well for Maryland. The one thing that's been a constant, Dave, throughout the evening for Maryland, just quick decisions.
Yep.
You know, they move the ball quick. They don't sit and dwell on the ball at all. They keep it moving all the time. It's fantastic. It's tough for any team to get your positioning, your feet settled there when the ball's moving that quick.
They play with pace and purpose. Like this, as Renfro has to come out. Just what you were talking about. Look at how that kind of developed from the middle of the field. Schuma was running onto it.
You see John Sturzer with that delicate touch, that final ball. And again, he pushes forward. He does such a good job, Sturzer, keeping it, linking up with the strikers.
Patrick Mullins, so good at running at players. Mullins, he looped that up there for pace. In final moments of our football tonight here on this Friday night. But we certainly invite you tomorrow, Terrapin Hokie football fans. You want to be a part of ACC Kickoff Live. It's at 11 o'clock. It's 1 hour of the teams that you care most about. It's ACC Kickoff Live. It's every Saturday at 11 o'clock, only on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
You can hear the supporters group, the crew, asking for one more goal, Dave. They're just yelling, one more goal. Maybe Virginia Tech thinks that's them.
That's right, Ralph. It's been better stuff from Virginia Tech in the second half, but that's not to mask the fact that Maryland has controlled this game. Well, that's not also unexpected given Maryland's lofty standing. It's deserved.
No, definitely not. But you see, when Virginia Tech does get the possession, Dave, and then they kind of push forward a little bit further up the field, the one thing that's been lacking is the back line of Virginia Tech still sitting too deep. They've got to close up that gap in that space there so they can at least support players. And if it turns over, they can close it down right away.
Sabasa Endo. Ridden off the ball. Going to be a free kick.
Drew Renahan has to be careful there.
Yeah,
After the whistle blows,
kick the ball
kicking
away.
the ball away. Thought the referee was going to pull him up. Let him off the hook there. Now, can we see a little magic from Maryland on this set piece?
Drew Ranahan is listed at 6'4". He walked by us. We're still sticking to 6'7". That's what we thought.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought you were 6'4", but then again, I knew you stood on a box all the times you did the open.
Yeah.
This is a good bit of 35 yards out, Dave. Good distance here. Endo looks like he wants to have a strike, though. 4-man in the wall.
Endo does have a strike. It's a good one.
Wow, very good strike.
Well, the crew, the supporters group behind the goal, they were asking for one more goal. He was trying to oblige. Into the final minute here on this Friday night on ACC Digital Network. Maryland Terrapins.
You got a feel for Kyle Renfro, don't you?
Yeah.
You got to feel he's been busy all night.
And he's made some great saves.
Yeah, very good goalkeeper.
Hunter Burns. Cardona forced off his line in traffic, and the whistle comes. That was a difficult ball. It was kind of that Neverland.
It was a teasing ball,
Yeah.
You're right, Dave, and it was drifting away from the goal towards the 18 again, so it was a far way to come. He made a decision, though, but I give him credit. He
Once you
stuck
make
with
it,
it.
yeah.
He went through, followed through. Cardoza just getting on top of that.
Well, the countdown is on for a Maryland victory. And indeed, for the Maryland Terrapins, it is mission accomplished. The Maryland Terrapins, with goals from Patrick Mullins and Mikey Ambrose, his first of the year, secure the victory over a Virginia Tech team that, let's face it, they brought what was also advertised to us, the kind of commitment that certainly secured a 1-1 tie last week against Boston College, but a greater challenge tonight, to be fair, against Maryland.
No, certainly, and the one thing that you have to give, you look at Maryland and you know there's a reason why they're number one, Dave, and they showed that again tonight. But you have to walk away from this, and Coach Brizendine is going to say, you know what, guys, at least we were resilient in the second half. We shut that down. We stopped the bleeding. First half, we gave up 2 goals, maybe a little bit too easy at times. Came out the second half a little bit better defensively, and they got a little bit more possession as it went on. So Maryland will be happy, though. You see the crew fans right there. They're very, protect this house. Yeah, it's become a fortress, this house. Been very good here, Ludwig Field.
Well, this is what college soccer's become all about, and being able to present you these games on ACC Digital Network is also what it's all about, as we connect the soccer community together. And Maryland Terrapins continue their connection. They now improved to 6-0-1 on the season. Again, that lone tie to UCLA. And for Virginia Tech, they'll fall to 3-3-1. And Sasha Sorovsky, the head coach of the University of Maryland, again celebrating his 20th season here at Maryland. He joins us now. And Sasha, first of all, let's talk about the game. Your thoughts about being able to secure this 2-0 win.
Well, one of our goals, Dave, was to get the first goal. We haven't scored the first goal in a while in the game. We've been chasing it a little bit, and then also to get a shutout. So from that standpoint, I think mission accomplished. Thought we did well in the first half. Probably should have had more than a couple of goals. Second half, you have to give Tech some credit. They played pretty direct and were very effective. They were a little more aggressive than the first half, and maybe we took the foot off the accelerator a little bit. We were a little sloppy. Didn't play as quick as I wanted us to play, but you can't be too dissatisfied with a shutout victory in the ACC.
Sasha, when you look at this game, is it continuing winning ways? Is this something that's very good and confidence for this team? Yeah, I think so, John. It's we're still a pretty young team. We're still playing some guys and rotating some guys in to make sure they get used to ACC play. And look, anytime you win, it's a good game. I think if I look at the video second half, I won't be happy with a few things, but those things we can correct. It's still in the first half of the season, and it's about getting a little hardened and maybe learning a few lessons, and we'll take something from every game. Sasha, talk a little bit about Dan Metzger. I mean, to me, very impressive throughout this whole game. 90 minutes, very solid. He makes decisions look so easy for you in that midfield. Danny's a player that's starting to flourish this year. Last year I think he almost
didn't push himself hard enough to get into the lineup, and this year he's been fantastic. I mean, he covers a lot of ground. He's good in the air. He's good with the ball at his feet. He just has a great attitude, and he's only going to get better, John. I think he's almost improved every game for us, so it's nice to see his progress.
All right, and also the most important question, perhaps. We've been loving going to the Maryland Terrapins website and seeing your banner.
Oh, yeah.
Or the fans have done it. What's the story on that? That's a great banner.
Well, it's an amazing thing. When we played UCLA on that night, we had almost 7,000 people here, and before the game started, all of a sudden they unfurled this tifo, this banner, and it was just one of the most humbling moments you can have as a coach to have this in a college soccer game when I think there was a group of about 10 students that spent 20 hours doing that by hand to show that kind of respect. Really is very humbling, and I couldn't be more appreciative. It was just a fantastic moment I'll never forget.
Well, I remember when you arrived here in College Park, and as always, a gracious host, Sasha. Yeah. Thanks so much for having us tonight on the ACC Digital Network, and congratulations.
Thanks, Dave and John. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Sasha.
Bye.
2-0, the final tonight. For John Harkes, I'm Dave Johnson. Again, we appreciate you tuning in on ACC Digital Network. Is that what you do digitally? Still tune in?
Absolutely.
I guess so. The final score.
Log on and tune in. I've got to get the terminology right. The final score tonight: the University of Maryland 2, Virginia Tech 0. A reminder: next Friday night, it's more men's ACC soccer action as North Carolina will take on Duke. Again, we remind you, and we appreciate that you've been watching coverage of the Atlantic Coast Conference Soccer on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. We say goodnight from College Park.